Yes, having a Tuesday off was actually probably might have been an advantage for us because we were off last week and had a chance to practice on Sunday and Monday and kind of give the guys a day off and go back, regroup, and kind of clean up our game plan for the next 3 days here. Get ready for an Arkansas team that is playing really good football right now. You look at these guys, you know, um, offensively, they're spreading the ball around really strong in the run game, playing clean up front. Got lots of playmakers on the offensive side of the ball in the backfield, wide receiver, tight end. Defensively, it's been very well documented. The turnovers that they've gained this year, Coach Odom's doing a fantastic job. The guys play hard, play together, give you a lot of different looks. And in special teams, continue to win in vertical field position. So we have a tremendous challenge, and we're looking forward to it.
First, we'll go to Tom Murphy, the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette.
Jeremy, in the 2 weeks you've had, I wonder, through your self-scouting, what you feel the second half of the season, it's really important for you guys to improve upon the rest of the way.
Well, we played the first two games, and we think we were +3 in the turnover margin the first 3 games, and since then I think we're -6, so might be -7. So we obviously, number one, got to take care of the football. It's the most important thing, and it's not just for us. You see it all across college football and NFL. Teams that are in the negative part and turnover margin, they have a hard chance. It's tougher for them to win football games. So that's the first thing is taking care of the football, and we need to force more turnovers on defense and special teams.
Okay, and then you've done some scouting of Arkansas in recent years, but I'm wondering, when you just turn on the tape of this Sam Pittman team, what jumped out at you that it just seems that they're so improved from last year?
Well, we did play them last year. I kind of go back to when I was at Alabama in 2017. Just looking at the talent level that's there now compared to then. There's lots of really good football players on the team, and I feel like there's on each side of the ball there's 6 or 7 guys that are have a chance to be all SEC type of players. So the guys are playing hard, they're playing with confidence, and playing together.
Okay, thanks. Jimmy Hines, Knoxville Sports Radio.
Jeremy, looking at your third down offense, I know it's a concern. Do you think that is traced to lack of execution or too many third and long?
Probably both. It's. I think the first game of the year we were like 1 for 11 or something like that, and we won the football game. We need to be in manageable third downs. It's much easier to convert a 3rd and 1 to 2 than it is a 3rd and 9 to 10. So winning first and second down is important. Probably the other thing that goes into there is creating explosive plays. When you start having to convert third downs over and over and over again, your probably odds are against you as far as putting long drives together. So there's a couple of things with that we need to improve on.
And also, during the open data, I wonder, do you feel like you can make strides in improving your tackling? I know that was a concern against Alabama.
Yeah, there was too many yards after contact in that game. So, probably some of the things that they did as far as getting guys in space contributed to that a little bit more, making us play, all over the field. So we've got to do a much better job doing that. To me, if you got edges on the defense and the run game, and you're close when people catch the ball, it all also helps in that. So we've got to have tighter coverages. We got to keep better edges, and we got to squeeze the run lanes better from the secondary.
David Ubben of Athletic.
Jeremy, how would you describe where your quarterback competition is, and how would you describe what you've seen from Harrison Bailey during the open week?
Well, I mean, it's been good to get Harrison reps, and he continues to progress just like anybody would. He's getting more practice time, and you have to do something a lot of times before you get good at it. And the more Harrison's a guy that's very conscientious, he's smart, he works hard, and he continues to improve every day that he goes out there.
Next is Dan Harrelson of Vols Wire.
Hey, Coach, coming off the open date and you were able to have your players leave go off campus for a couple of days, giving them a couple of days to do whatever and then report back. How much different is that this season with the coronavirus? Because you probably have a good feeling that they're going to do the right thing and still treat this virus how it should be treated, as if it's a normal week, if they are still on campus. But how much different and difficult is it for them to go off and come back, especially with you guys getting tested 3 times a week?
Well, these guys, there's 10 opportunities to play during the fall, right? And nothing's guaranteed. So I think all the players across college football have probably sacrificed a lot by coming back during a time of kind of uncertainty a little bit and unknown. And, they did that because they want to play. They probably believe in the institutions that they play for and trust the medical piece there. And so with, I guess as time has went on, we learn more and more about the virus. And, I think our players have worked really hard to try to protect themselves. There's no guarantees. But we continue to try to do the right things, and hopefully they'll be rewarded for it.
Next is Scotty Bordelon of Whole Hog Sports.
Hey, Coach, I'm curious what jumps out at you when you watch Salem Burke, number 16, on film, and what challenges does he present your defensive backs?
Yeah, I remember recruiting him out of high school and thought that he had a chance to be a really good player, possibly on either side of the ball. I think he's one of the best players in our conference. Just looking at him, you see him improve every week. He's a mismatched guy, probably 230 pounds, that runs like a guy that probably is a 4-4 guy. I think he's one of the best players in our conference, and I think he's got a chance to be a really, really good football player as the years go by.
And in your opinion, what qualities make Eric Gray and Ty Chandler effective runners for you?
Well, they're hard workers. They have a lot of character about them. They want to be good, not only in football but in life. They're good students. They work hard every single day at practice. They're good leaders on our team. I think it shows up for them on Saturdays because they put the work in 365 days a year.
Thank you.
Next is Blake Topmeyer of the Knoxville News Sentinel.
And Jeremy, coming off that open week and the latest round of testing, do you expect to have any players or coaches unavailable for this weekend?
We tested on Sunday, and unfortunately we did have a few false positives. So we had some guys that had to miss Monday's practice, but they're back. So that was good. And I think that's happened probably all over every testing facility across the country at times. It's the first time it's happened with us. So, but But we did have a few guys that missed Monday's practice, but they'll be back ready to go today.
And then offensively, do you feel like this offense has found its identity, and what would you like the identity of this offense to be beyond, you talked about the ball security and limiting the turnovers?
Right. So, to me, I think you've got to have balance. If you want to have a chance to win every game each Saturday, you've got to be able to run the football. You've got to be able to throw the ball. You got to have quarterbacks that can make all the throws. You got to be able to execute at a high level. To me, I think you've got to mix up tempo. Sometimes you got to play fast, and then sometimes you got to slow it down and protect your defense a little bit or protect a lead. So, we've got to be a team that's explosive, creating explosive plays, whether it's in the run game or the throw game. And a team that scores touchdowns in the red area. So there's lots of ways that we need to improve, and we're not there yet. So this will be a great opportunity for us to improve from where we were at.
Thanks.
Take one more. Let's go to David Pascal, the Chattanooga Times Free Press.
Hey, Jeremy, back to the quarterback. I know you're constantly evaluating, obviously, every week at every position when a season gets going. But is Jarrett back to kind of getting more first-team reps like he was before the Kentucky game? Has it kind of gone back to that situation a little bit?
Well, there was a situation where Jarrett was hurt, and other guys obviously took reps when he was limited there. But as you watch our practices at every position, we're seeing who performs the best at practice, right? So, I've been doing this a long time, and not many times you see guys that don't perform very well at practice, but they play good on Saturdays, not in the game of football. So, we've continued to work hard to develop guys within our program that do it the right way every single day. And if you do that, you create the right habits. So when there's, doesn't matter who you're playing against, or it doesn't matter the score, it doesn't matter the circumstances, that you go back to those habits and you perform kind of the way you've created the right habits at practice. So that's something that we do at all positions.
And how would you say Jarrett has improved from day one of this season, from the South Carolina game to now?
Well, he helps us get in the right place. We put a lot on our offense, on our quarterback to make sure when it comes to run pass that we're in the right place. One thing about being a quarterback is how do you lead the other 10 guys on the field? There's times, you've got to alert people, hey, watch out for this star coming on the blitz here, or maybe they stem a front, and you've got to make sure that we're got the right ID pointed out in the run game. He's done a really nice job doing that. And these are things that our younger quarterbacks, the more that they get these looks at practice, it helps in their development, so our offensive team can play better. He's done a nice job, in my opinion, helping lead the quarterback room, to helping these guys understand. So he's been a very good teammate to those guys.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Coach, thanks for your time.
Thank y'all.
Well, we're looking forward to having a home game here against University of Tennessee. It's been a different week for us. We got back at 2:30 in the morning. We practiced Sunday evening when we on the day we returned. We're usually a Monday practice team, and then practiced our Tuesday practice on Monday, and then certainly we're off yesterday, so it's been a little bit of a different week for us because, like I say, we're a Monday practice team and not Sunday. However, they've gone well. Tennessee is a big physical, good-looking, good-playing football team that loves to throw the ball deep on offense, that can run the football, very powerful, very impressive offensive line. And on the defensive front, very big, again, powerful. We have a wonderful linebacker in Henry To'o. And, of course, their safeties are just an extension of that linebacker group because they will run and hit. You can see this has got Jeremy Pruitt's handprint all over it. It's a big, physical football team that is playing well.
We'll begin with Bob Holt, the Arkansas Democrat Gazette.
Hey Sam, how you doing? I wanted to ask you another about the tight end. Blake Kern, he was a guy who hadn't played very much on offense coming into this season. He's a walk-on, but he's a pretty productive. Has he surprised you, or what have you thought of his play overall?
Well, he's one of the first guys that we met when we came in here, and he's a big, good-looking guy as a tight end, and some of it was, why isn't he playing? I understood they lost some good tight ends from last year, but Kern has done a nice job, caught some critical passes in games, becoming a better blocker, and we're proud of how much he's improved throughout this season. Looking forward to continue to improve.
When you have a walk-on contributing to that degree, how big is that?
Well, we have several guys that have walked on here that have either earned scholarships or on their way to doing that are playing for us this year. And of course, COVID year is totally a different year in that it's give a lot of kids opportunities to play on Saturday that maybe might not have that opportunity if it was a different situation, and they've thrived in that, and we're proud of them, and we have to continue to get good walk-ons.
Next is Nate Allen Sports.
Sam, I think you wanted a mobile quarterback, but has Frank surprised you, especially with how much you've used him in the running game?
No, we knew he could run when we recruited him. Obviously, he had a lot of film from Florida. We just happened to start using the quarterback in the run game a little bit more last week. We needed to. We needed to even up the numbers a little bit better in the box. But no, we knew he was a tough kid and a very adequate runner. And he likes to. He's tough. And so we added a few plays for him last week.
Also, how do you see your defensive line stacks up against Tennessee's offensive line?
I don't know that a lot of teams stack up great against their offensive line. I mean, they're very talented, very physical, very well coached. They can run the ball, and of course, Gray and Chandler are hard running guys. And I've known Jim Chaney for a long time. He turn around and hand it off 75 times, he's going to do it. And so obviously our D line is we recruited some bigger guys. This league, you need some size on the D line, and I thought Coach got better last week, which will help our football team, and we're getting a little healthier there. So hopefully we'll be able to withstand some of this running game that Tennessee's going to put on us on Saturday.
Thank you.
Next we'll go to Jimmy Hines, Sports Radio Knoxville.
Sam, we just heard Jeremy Pruitt say that he thinks Traylon Burks is one of the best players in the SEC. What are your thoughts on Burks and his ability?
I really like him. I love him as a young man. Just a wonderful, wonderful, hard-working kid. But I think Jeremy's right. He's talented, big hands. He wears a 5X glove, whatever that is. That's a big hand, I guess. And he has good speed, big wide out. We're trying to use him in a lot of different ways, Jimmy. We're trying to run him. We're trying to run him out of the backfield, throw balls to him out of the backfield. Obviously, you use him in the slot, use him as our X receiver, our Z receiver. So we're just trying to get the ball to him as much as we can because we believe he has great value for our offense.
And what have you been most pleased with in regard to Felipe Frank so far?
Well, a lot of things. One of them being that, he was elected a captain when he came in a COVID situation and no spring ball. So there tells you that his leadership skills have been outstanding. He's a tough kid. I think he's getting better each week throwing the football. He's taking care of the football. But I think more than anything, it's just been his leadership skills and the way that the team looks at him and the way that he runs the offensive side of the football team, and he's affecting the defensive side. So I've just been, we've been very fortunate that he elected to transfer to Arkansas.
Thank you. Go to Blake Totmeyer, the Knoxville News Sentinel.
Sam, I was wondering how much does or will the city of Memphis and sort of West Tennessee factor into your long-term recruiting strategy and plans there at Arkansas?
Well, we obviously have coaches in that region. The University of Tennessee is hard to beat, in the state of Tennessee. But we certainly are going in there trying to find out who the best players are, and we have a couple of coaches assigned to that area on our staff.
You mentioned teams being hard to beat. Tennessee there. I mean, there's so many SEC schools within, say, 5 hours of Memphis. Would you say it's one of the more competitive recruiting areas in SEC land, or do some other areas more stand out in that regard?
Well, it's very competitive there. I'll say that, But, you have Atlanta, you have Houston, Dallas. There's a lot of places out there. Obviously, Dade County, you have a lot of places that are competitive. But I'll give you that. I think it's one of the more competitive areas in the SEC.
Thanks.
Sure.
That's all our time, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.